What's going on, everybody? This is A.J. and I'm coming to you with another video. And today is Tuesday, so you know that means it's Transparent Tuesday. So let's get transparent. So for those who have been following my journey through my MLD phalloplasty, you know that I have had phalloplasty. I had it August 22nd. So I'm coming up on 1 month post-op this Thursday. So let me just get into the update. Last Wednesday, I had my first follow-up appointment with one of my surgical assistants at the doctor's office that I go to for my gender-affirming surgeries. And it went well. They looked at everything. The actual doctor, she said that I was healing well. I did tell her that I noticed that there was like a slight pulling under the phallus, and it didn't hurt, but it was just uncomfortable. So when she looked at it, she saw that a couple of the sutures came out, which caused like a little break in the skin. So it's like a little small triangular opening, so it's like a hole. So I was like, so does that mean you're going to suture it up, or what's happening? Well, what's going to happen? And she's like, nope. The only thing you really need to do for that is to put manuka honey on it, which is a wound healing honey. And then it'll gradually close on its own. So that's what I've been doing since last week. I've been putting manuka honey on, and I have two different kinds of manuka honey. I've always had manuka honey because I usually put that in tea. And I do know that it is a wound healing agent. So I started putting the manuka honey that I already had on the opening. The one that I have, it's manuka honey, turmeric, garlic, and black seed oil. And it's very thick. So, I just take like either a Q-tip or maybe the tip of my finger, dip it in the manuka honey, and then I put it on the wound, and then I put gauze over it, and then we're good. So I do that a few times a day. So I've been doing that for about a week now. So that was one thing, that was the main thing that I wanted to ask the doctor about on my first follow-up, because it was like, it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't painful. It was just uncomfortable, and I didn't know what was going on, and it was always pulling, and she was like, it was pulling because it's open. So that was the main thing. One of the other things were the staples. So where they made the incision, I had staples, what they could staple back together. Because in a previous video, I said that they were going to make an incision, take some of the skin and muscle to create the phallus, and then they close the incision. So what they didn't know was that my latissimus was so big, my back muscle was so big, that at one point they couldn't close the incision, which is why I had to have a graft from the outer thigh on the left side to cover what they couldn't close. But what they did close, they closed not with sutures, but they closed with staples. So on my first follow-up last week, they removed some of those staples. The rest they left in because they were too close to where the donor site was, that they weren't able to close, and they didn't want to irritate it. So they left those in. And then they looked at the phallus. They said the phallus looks good. So I do have sutures on the tip of the phallus going all the way on the underside. And those sutures will eventually fall out. I give it about 2 months. So probably by the end of November, all of those sutures will be gone. It takes a while because you have to realize the sutures are what's holding the phallus to my skin or to me. So they have to kind of, for lack of a better word, they have to mesh together in order for the sutures to say, hey, I've done all I can do, now I'm falling out because I'm not holding anything together anymore because it's together. So that's basically what the sutures are for. So once my phallus is connected to my skin, the sutures will fall out. It takes a while. I learned that last year when I had my metoidioplasty. I had my metoidioplasty last July. All of the sutures didn't fall out until like the beginning of November. So I'm looking at maybe the end of November now for all the sutures to fall out. So they just checked the sutures, make sure none of them were loose, since some of them, I think it was maybe two. Maybe the two that did fall out under my phallus where I'm putting the manuka honey, they just wanted to check to make sure there were no more that were loose, which they weren't. They checked the surgical sites, they checked the graft site, they checked the donor site, they checked everything, you know. And they just told me continue to use zero form on the donor site. So the donor site, let's see if I can show you all. You see where this tape is. So the donor site is right here. Under there is zero form. Zero form is like gauze that's covered in petroleum jelly. It's like a yellowish kind of color gauze. It has petroleum jelly on it, and they put that on like open sites so that it can heal properly. And usually what they'll do is put it on there and leave it there until it eventually falls off on its own. Once it falls off, that's how you know that that particular site has healed. So I had zero form here. But what they want me to do is to take it off every day, shower, and then reapply a new zero form and then put gauze over it. So that's what I do. So that's why you see the gauze there, because it's zero form. I showered, the zero form is there, and then I just put the gauze and the tape back over it. I also had zero form on the graft site on the outside of my left thigh, and that zero form they left on, and she told me to slowly cut away at the part of the zero form that was rolling off of my leg. So it was still stuck to my leg because that part of my leg was still healing. So that's what I was doing. I did that for a week. She told me to come back to see her Monday, which was yesterday. So I went to see her yesterday, which was my second follow-up visit. So she noticed that the zero form on my leg was peeling a little more. She noticed that part of the site was very dry, which is what you want. So she's like, you know what, I'm just going to take the zero form off, which is what she did. There's still a little part of my leg where it's like kind of moist because it's still draining a little bit. So she's like, you know what, just put gauze on it, cover it up. The parts that are dry, which are healed, put Aquaphor on to keep it moist, so it won't like really dry out and get flaky or anything. Then cover it up with gauze and then let it go. So that's what I'm doing. But that zero form is off, so it is healing. And when I saw it, it wasn't as big as I thought it was. I thought it was like this huge graft site, and it isn't. It's like a square that's maybe about that big. Not even a square, it's a small rectangle. It's about that big and maybe that wide on my thigh. It's not a huge amount of skin that they took to cover my donor site that they couldn't close. So, I was kind of happy about that because I thought it was a big piece of skin, and it isn't. It's a small piece. I have a zero form here. I don't have any zero form on my leg. It's just gauze. And what else did she do yesterday? I told her about the Manuka honey. She said that it does look a lot better to continue to using the Manuka honey for maybe about a month or so or whatever. So she said that the wound will eventually close up on its own. it'll, because skin is a living organism, so it does grow. So she said that it will grow probably from the bottom up, and then I won't have that opening anymore. So I'll give it about a month and a half or whatever. And it was a good visit yesterday. She took out the rest of the staples that she left in last week. And I'm so glad she took them out because, there was one staple that was like right in my armpit, and it was like half in and half out, so it really hurt. And because I had to keep the staples covered so that they'd stay dry, the tape was making the gauze stick to the staple, and it was putting pressure on it, and it hurt so bad. So I'm glad that one is gone. It left like a little lump right there, which it feels like a little hickey, but I know that'll go down. But it just feels a lot better, and I can actually feel the tightness in my back, which means the skin is healing, and it's getting dry at the donor site, which is what I want. But it feels tight. Like, it really does feel tight. And I'm going to show you later on, not in this video, but I'll show you later on when it's a bit more healed, what the whole site looks like on my back and on my leg. So I am still wearing the donut. She still wants me to keep the donut on for maybe about another month or so, just to keep my phallus propped up so that gravity won't cause it to fall, because one, it is heavy, and two, the sutures are still there, so I don't want any more of the sutures to come out. I did notice that around the sutures it's starting to get dry, little flaky skin, which means that the sutures are doing what they're supposed to do. It's connecting the skin from my phallus to my skin on me. I'm actually holding my phallus right now. I'm holding the donut and my phallus in place. So what I did, because since I've been home, I really haven't been like wearing clothes. It was just no point, because I had to wear the donut and I had to wear the bucket. But since last week, I have not used that bucket. I threw that bucket away. That bucket got on my nerves. But since I do have to use the donut, I'm still using the donut. What I do is I have some pajama pants that have a button fly. So I wear the pajama pants, and they're big enough so that the donut fits inside of them. So I'm wearing the donut so it supports my penis. I open the button fly so that my penis sticks out. So I'm walking around looking like a dirty old man, like I really am right now. But I'm home, so it doesn't matter. And my wife doesn't seem to care. She's like, listen, it's whatever. So, but I do still have to hold it. There are some times where I can like maneuver, like I'm maneuvering the donut right now, and I can like not hold it because the pants, the elastic of the pants is holding up the donut, and it's allowing my penis to be free in the donut without it falling or without it being too high, because you don't want it really high, because you could risk a suture coming out, and I don't want that anymore. So it's sticking out, but it's tilted down just a little bit. So that's how I hold it. And then when I'm sleeping, it's the same thing. I don't have it up at a 90-degree angle. The donut allows it just to curve down just a little. So it takes some getting used to. Like, I had to learn that when I was in the hospital, how to actually have the donut. And they showed me before I left. And, it just takes some maneuvering when it comes to this donut. I mean, I've been with it for almost a month now, so I know how to do what I need to do just to get around the house. I'm walking a lot more, walking a lot better. I did venture out of the house yesterday outside of going to the doctor. I went to the store, and it was a task because I did have the donut in my pants, I was wearing regular joggers. I had the donut in my pants, so of course it looks really weird. So I didn't want people to see it. So what I had to do was carry my backpack, which really didn't have anything in it, and just put it in front of me. So no one really suspected anything. They just thought I was just carrying my backpack in front of me. Um, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, and I did want to get a few more steps in. So yeah, I'm I'm coming along. I'm coming along. I feel great. I feel really, really great. Actually, the crazy thing is, so you all know my fitness journey just to lose the weight that I needed to lose to have the phalloplasty. So I did that. But since I've had it, I haven't weighed myself, but I know I've lost more weight because I'm looking thin right now. Like I'm looking little. Um, Honestly, I don't like it. My wife was like, "No, it's fine. You look great." And it's not it I'm just used to being a little bigger, not heavier, um, fat wise, but muscular. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I guess basically I want to go to the gym. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I miss going to the gym, but I know I can't go for a few more weeks, and even when I do, it's just going to be like light cardio, maybe light weightlifting for upper body. I don't think I'm be doing lower body for a good long while. So, you know, and I forgot to ask the doctor yesterday when I was there in the office, you know, when I could go back to the gym. But, you know, I know from experience it's going to take a while. I probably will not be going back to the gym until November, just to give my body proper time to completely heal because it was a big surgery. It was a really big surgery. So, you know, I don't want to mess up anything. I don't want any complications. And I'm grateful that I didn't have any major complications. You know, last year with my metorioplasty, I had a UTI and I had jock itch. So I was like, this year I don't want any of that, and grateful that I don't have that. Oh, and last week at my first follow up, they did remove the catheter, which was it was quick, but it was unpleasant. But they did remove the catheter, so I'm catheter free. I'm happy. That's one less thing that I have to worry about carrying around. So, yeah, I'm doing well. I think I'm doing really, really, really well. So, I just wanted to give you all that update because, like I said, I wanted you all to know everything about my journey when it came to my MLD phalloplasty, and this is it. As I did say earlier, once I feel comfortable in showing the donor site and the graft site, I will. I want it to get healed a little bit more because it is looking kind of if you get my drift, and I don't want to show that. I just want to let everyone know what it looks like with the bandages. So you know, that's that with the bandage, and then the other one with the bandage. I don't want to show because if I show it, you're gonna have to see my butt, and I don't want you to see my butt. So yeah, that's my update, you all. I just wanted to let everyone know that I'm doing well. My recovery is going really, really great. And I'm doing this video standing because I'm getting tired of laying down. As I said in a few videos prior to this one, once you have this type of surgery, you either one, stand up, or two, lay down. You really can't sit. And I'm tired of laying down. So I find myself up and walking around a lot more now, which is good. It just means that my healing is progressing. So yeah, that's my video, everyone. Oh, one more thing. I don't have to go back to the doctor for any more follow-ups. The next time that I have to go back to that office is to see my surgeon when he returns in November. So I go to see him November 11th just so he can look at the work that he's done and hopefully to schedule for my stage 2 phalloplasty, which I'm hoping is in February because that's 6 months. Um, if not February, then it'll have to be May because my surgeon only comes to New York once every quarter. So I do have to go see him in November. I can't wait. And that's it. So yes, that is my video. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching and for following my journey. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions about my MLD phalloplasty, about transitioning or my transition in general, hit me up in the comments and I will answer you either in the comments or I'll do a video about it. Thank you again for following my journey. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Be good. And if you cannot be good, then be good at it. A.J. out, y'all.